welcome to Love on the Planets for the week of May 21st, 2018. I'm Armand Diaz in Long Island, New York.
And I am Margaret Gray in Dublin, Ireland. And just to let everyone know that, of course, we're going to be at UAC this week and be prepared for some surprises. We're going to do a few Facebook Live how can we call them? I was going to say an intervention. No, Facebook Live discussions, chats. Yes.
We need an intervention. That could be not a bad idea, but we'll call them something else. We'll do a little Facebook. I think it's just called a Facebook Live. I don't know.
Yeah, so look out on our page. Come to our Facebook page.
That's right. You should come to our Facebook page. It's written right below. It's actually written right below Margaret, but I can't point over there. It's over there.
It's over in Dublin, Ireland. So, speaking of which, I mean, goodness, this is an interesting week, isn't it? We had a rather big week last week, of course, with all those changes. And, I mean, what's your sense of the main thing for this week, Armand, in relationships?
Well, it's going to be a little bit of a time of integration, but I feel that it's building up between the first quarter moon and the full moon, which is it's a very active time. This first quarter moon relates back to the eclipse in August of last year, the big Great American Eclipse type of thing. So things that began around there or things that were happening around there may sort of be chapter 2 time. But the big news for the week has to be Venus in Cancer opposite Saturn in Capricorn, which happens on Saturday. It happens actually early on Saturday, so that really is going to color, let's say, later Thursday all the way through early Saturday.
And that's, of course, for your time, Eastern Standard Time. For us, it's going to be here in Europe a little bit later in the afternoon, just to keep that in mind. That's kind of an interesting energy, isn't it? Because I always think, we've talked about this before. When Saturn, is connected, is aspecting Venus, really something can manifest in very concrete form, particularly when it's a Saturn in Capricorn. However, with the opposition, there could also feel as if there's some obstacles to get over before that can manifest. But the one thing I would say is that, the more work we put into it, the better it is. So it's really about, working at it, not just assuming it's going to happen.
Oh, yes. Well, Saturn always demands work, doesn't he? And, an opposition, now people would often say an opposition is going to be tough somehow. But, with Venus in very traditional Cancer, maybe looking a little bit more towards the little more conservative, family-oriented, us type of thought, a more inclusive, although there are boundaries, us sort of sense in Cancer, and Saturn in very formal Capricorn. I don't really see that there's an awful lot of conflict here.
I think you're right. So I think it's worth, thinking during the week, what is it that I want to manifest? What do I want to create that's solid? What kind of loving foundations? Because, of course, Venus in Cancer is also about love. It's that nurturing love. It's real love. It's not just romantic hype. Now, earlier in the week, of course, on the Friday leading up to that, we've got Jupiter trine Neptune in Pisces, which is much more that kind of dreamy, think big, dreams or whatever. So that's a good lead up because, first we've got the dreaming stage and then we've got the, let's manifest it stage.
Yeah, that's a really nice way to look at it, that it is sort of harmoniously put together. So that we can imagine and then we can manifest. I think that Neptune Jupiter is going to, these are in water signs too. So we're looking at some, bringing up a lot of emotional stuff. This is not a dry kind of aspect. And then Venus is in Cancer, which is a water sign, and Saturn is sort of grounding things out and drying things out in Capricorn. The Sun has moved into Gemini. Which is a big change from Taurus, the drier grounding energy of Taurus. The Sun is, ready to sort of talk things up.
Well, it's interesting you raised that. It's true. And also, I was just thinking that Mercury is doing quite a lot this week. So the other kind of core theme is really communication. And there's a lot of stuff going on in communication. First of all, we start kind of early in the week with the Sun sextile Chiron in Aries. So, that's the whole theme of connection, networking, maybe healing something around connections with people that maybe, need some healing, some kind of looking at. And then we've got Mercury sextile Neptune, so we've got this earthy Mercury in Taurus that's very factual, sextile Neptune in Pisces, which is so dreamy, which I think, though, is a very good aspect really for creativity. So maybe to do something with a partner that's creative. And of course, it's also opposite Jupiter in Scorpio. So there's that depth to it. Now, later in the week, then towards the weekend, Mercury's trine Pluto in Capricorn. So it feels like it then goes into a much deeper place where maybe we really want to have conversations that are really about something that's pretty depthful, that maybe it's been a bit hidden, that maybe we haven't had as much courage to talk about, which really again builds up to that Venus opposite Saturn. So by the time we have the Venus opposite Saturn, sorry, I'm not letting you get a word in here. I'm getting very mercurial, carried away by the Mercury energies. But by the time we have Venus opposite Saturn, we really have a better sense of what's going on.
And that is perfect for a opposition to Saturn. It's a make it or break it type of thing. We can build on it. We can go deeper and start to build structures. But with Venus in Cancer, I think the question is, is this meeting my needs? Is this meeting my needs? And if the answer is yes, it's a foundation for building. And if the answer is no, it is a Venus-Saturn opposition, so things could be opposed to each other.
So what do you think is a good time to, for couples to maybe go out and have a nice evening together this week, and for people to also have a really nice time with their friends or with their family? What do you think is the best time?
I'm saying take advantage of the moon in Libra Thursday, maybe into Friday. When you feel like it, it's a pretty good week. I think the weekend moon in Scorpio is going to be a little, it's a good moon in Scorpio. Lots of harmonious aspects on the weekend, and then the Saturn Venus opposition. So I think the kind of, that might be a more time for closeness and intimacy rather than going out and partying, but maybe a little bit like, midweek towards Thursday type of thing would be a good idea.
Sounds like an interesting week ahead, Armand, and I will see you at UAC, and we'll finally both be in the same room together, and we'll be able to do some live work together. So I'm really looking forward to it. Take care. Have a good week.
I'll see you soon.